Just ahead on CTV News, flash flooding impacts drivers and local firefighters. And
Senator Angela Alsobrooks was in the county on Friday. Find out why she was here coming up on CTV News.
Plus, we sit down with the PGCPS Interim Superintendent. Those stories and more on CTV News, starting now.
Good evening. This is CTV News for July 21st. I'm Michaela Newton.
And I'm Byron Scott. Thank you for joining us tonight. Well, heavy rain inundated our region over the weekend, resulting in flooded roads, drivers stuck in cars, and a lot of emergency calls.
A volunteer fire station in Prince George's says its station garage was flooded.
Imagine working as a firefighter and your fire station gets flooded while you're still getting emergency calls. Well, that's exactly what happened here at the Berwyn Heights Volunteer Fire Station last Saturday, July 19th. Video from inside the station garage where fire trucks are typically stored shows the area completely covered in flood waters. Reports show that the water even got as high as 2 feet. And this incident was the third time the fire station experienced this type of severe flooding in the last 11 years. While all of this was happening, firefighters still had to go out and respond to emergency calls.
As the flash flooding is occurring, we're also getting calls to go help other people. So we had to do what we could to save our firehouse while going to save other people, but we were still getting out the door just as quick as we normally would.
Back here in Berwyn Heights, 3 fire trucks are back inside the fire station after the cleanup from the floodwaters. It's important to keep in mind that when the weather forecast anticipates severe thunderstorms, flooding, or even lightning, it's important to take that warning seriously. If you are outside when it's lightning, get to a secure and safe place immediately. And if you encounter high levels of water on the roadways, remember, turn around, don't drown. Katara Jones, CTV News.
And the flooding at the Berwyn Heights Volunteer Fire Station is one of many examples of the impact that Saturday's flooding had on the region. In neighboring Montgomery County, crews responded to more than 100 rescue calls on July 19th during a 2-hour time period.
And the National Weather Service says parts of Tacoma Park received up to 3.5 inches of rain, while Silver Spring received up to 4.5. Well, parts of Prince George's County were under a boil water advisory on Saturday. The advisory was issued following water main break near the Chevrolet Metro Station. The advisory affected more than 11,000 customers, including the areas of Hyattsville, Chevrolet, Sea Pleasant, and Capitol Heights. WSSC Water lifted the advisory last night. The Chevrolet Metro Station does not have water service but is operating as normal. No work yet on repairs will be complete.
This summer, 5 million student loans are expected to go into default. Payments had been paused during the pandemic, but collections restarted in 2023. Now, with inflation and an uncertain economy, many borrowers are struggling to keep up, and the consequences are serious. Now, experts say millions have already seen credit scores drop by 100 points or more, and if you're more than 270 days late, the government can garnish your wages or seize your tax refund.
It's money left on the table, and Maryland's top tax official wants to change that. Maryland Comptroller Brooke Learman says more than 99,000 eligible families missed out on the state earned income tax credit last year, and now she's launching a statewide push to close that gap. The campaign, called Earned It, pairs community outreach with free filing help and tailored messaging for families that may not know they qualify. Phase 2 of the campaign will be funded with $300,000 from the General Assembly to expand outreach and equity.
Because I knew that there were too many Marylanders not taking advantage of it and actually claiming what is rightfully theirs, I wanted us to do more. I wanted us to get serious about reaching out to people who should be claiming it, but were not. And I'm so proud over the last year, we have formed partnerships with other agencies, spread the word from Garrett County to the tip of St. Mary's to Ocean City and up to Cecil County and everywhere in between, really trying to get the word out. Now we'll be able to take what worked take the best performing ones and put some real money behind it so that we can move forward.
And to see if you qualify for the EITC or Child Tax Credit, visit the Comptroller's Earned It webpage at marylandcomptroller.gov.
And a shooting in Clinton Sunday morning leaves one teenager dead and one adult injured. It happened at the 6800 block of Killarney Street. Officers arrived on the scene shortly before 11:30 a.m. and found 17-year-old Cameron Adams inside of a car suffering from gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead on the scene. A second person was also shot but has non-life-threatening injuries. A $25,000 reward is being offered for information leading to an arrest or indictment in this case. And anyone with information is asked to call 1-866-411-TIPS.
And roughly 20% of all autopsies performed by the state medical examiner in Maryland in 2023 resulted in undetermined cause. This, according to state officials. In Prince George's County, that number was lower at 12%. Medical experts and criminologists say the state numbers are high and that the figures raise concerns about the accuracy of the state's accounting of homicides, suicides, and accidental overdose deaths. Undercount of any cause of death could lead to incomplete demographic data and have negative impacts on resources and funding. In Maryland, the manner of death includes 5 classifications: accident, homicide, natural, suicide, or undetermined. Department officials have in the past called for more resources.
And Senator Angela Alsobrooks visited Prince George's County on Friday,
where she made an appearance at the Cameron Grove Resort Center. CTV's Bryce Parker is up in Marlboro with more.
It's been 6 months since Senator Angela Alsobrooks took office, and on Friday, she decided to speak to some seniors here at Cameron Grove to talk about some of the things that she's been able to accomplish, including her efforts on keeping the new FBI headquarters in Greenbelt.
But I can tell you, and our strategy is, and we don't know, we'll see how successful we are, is to stall it. We have to find a way to stall any movement on that particular project until we can get us another leader in place.
The senator also spoke about the new projects that she's working on in Capitol Hill as a ranking member of the Transportation and Infrastructure Subcommittee.
When Union Station closes for 2 years for their renovations, I want you to know that all that traffic along the Eastern Seaboard will now come through New Carrollton, making us the premier transit hub on the Eastern Seaboard is now going to be right here in our county. Similar to the dollars that we got at New Carrollton, I'm going to be there, and I am there fighting like everything to make sure that we get every dollar we deserve for roads, infrastructure, and making sure transportation dollars come to Prince George's County and to the rest of the state.
Another point of focus for Alsobrooks is investing into the future of careers for young people.
Our kids want ways to earn money for themselves. They want to be able to have a future, to buy homes, to be able to enjoy the American dream like everybody else's kids. And our children, again, are really looking to do so by taking advantage of technology. And if we're not at the table, then we have no say in what happens. And so I'm going to be very involved in all of these areas to make sure that as all of these technologies develop, I want our communities not to live on the margins, but to be wealthy. And I'm not ashamed of saying it, is that, I think that the next move in the civil rights movement has to do with us being able to care for ourselves.
Now, one of the ways that Senator Alsobrooks plans to do this is by becoming a lead sponsor on something called the Genius Act. It's going to place consumer protection laws on cryptocurrency for both international and national traders, hoping to ensure some sense of safety in this career path for our young people. In Upper Marlboro, I'm Bryce Parker, CTV News.
And the senator also spoke about expanding fibroid research in women.
Well, the debate over the Washington Commanders' name continues as President Trump has threatened to stall a deal for a new stadium at the old RFK site if the team does not revert its name back to the Redskins. The Commanders have been vocal in recent years, stating they have no intentions on restoring their former name. The president also wants Major League Baseball's Cleveland Guardians to reverse its name back to the Cleveland Indians as well. You're watching CTV News. I'm Michaela Newton.
And I'm Byron Scott. Still to come, the Education Department has released millions of dollars in grant money.
After the break, find out what the funds will go towards. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned.
America. It's been almost 250 years. And we've seen some things. There have been challenges, injustices, people coming together, taking care of each other, building a better future. So in honor of our nation's 250th anniversary, we're launching America's Invitation. Share your story, your hopes, and your dreams for our nation. Because your story is the American story.
Welcome back. The search for a missing Prince George's County woman has come to a tragic end. The body of 79-year-old Louise Cox was found in the Little Wicomico River in Virginia. The Northumberland County Sheriff's Department found and identified her. She was reported missing to Prince George's police last Monday, the same day her body was found. Departments are working to determine the manner and the cause of death.
And some good news, the Education Department is releasing $1.3 billion in grant money that had been on hold. This funding supports after-school and summer programs, which many families rely on for childcare, tutoring, and enrichment activities. The move comes just days after a group of Republican senators urged the Trump administration to unfreeze the money, saying the programs have long had bipartisan support and aren't tied to any political agenda. The administration had paused over $6 billion in education grants for a review, and that's still ongoing. Meanwhile, the Horowitz Center for Health Literacy at the University of Maryland is working to make health information easier to understand for everyone. From individuals and families to entire communities and organizations, the center focuses on improving health literacy and language access, especially right here in Maryland. That includes helping people with limited English proficiency get the info they need.
Plain language information is necessary for everyone, but when your primary language or your first language is in English and you need that information in, Spanish or Chinese or Korean or French, whatever language you might be more, comfortable using for health information, if it's only available in English, then you're really going to miss out and not have that vital information.
And the City of Laurel is launching a Returning Citizens Employee Grant Program. The program is part of a city's effort to support second chances, promote reintegration, and boost economic development. Businesses can receive up to $10,000 to hire a returning citizen. $50,000 from the city's budget will be allocated to fund the program. Applications will be accepted from the business entity and open on August 1st.
And recently, the Environmental Protection Agency requested that the state of Maryland reissue its permit for their offshore wind project. However, the state refuses to do so. The EPA claims Maryland did not identify the correct process for citizens to submit appeals when completing its first permit. The state argues that to reissue a permit, there needs to be a court appeals process first, which passed a month before the EPA granted Maryland its permit.
And sobering news on the job front in Maryland. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Maryland had the largest single-month decrease in federal jobs in nearly 30 years. In all, 8,500 jobs were lost. 3,500 of those were in the federal sector. Maryland's unemployment rate ticked up slightly from 3.2 to 3.3%. Maryland has the second highest concentration of federal workers in the country, with 230,000 living in the state. And the Maryland National Capital Parks and Planning Commission held a community fun day over the weekend. This here was the scene on Saturday at the Southern Regional Technology and Recreation Complex, Fort Washington. A lot of fun was had by all. The event also a chance for people to meet the county leaders, including the new chair of Parks and Recreation.
I think it's important that we get to know each other and for the residents to understand all the different programming that we have here and all the wonderful things that Parks and Rec has to offer. So today is really about reintroducing ourselves in a way that people understand who we are and what we're all about. Going forward, our Parks and Recs will become a destination for Prince George's County, but more importantly for the state of Maryland.
Today is all about connecting with people of all ages, from our youngest to our most seasoned citizens, and having something fun and entertaining for everyone.
For more information about the many programs offered by Parks and Rec, go to pgparks.com.
Well, a movie star and Prince George's County native made a visit over the weekend. Actress Taraji P. Henson stopped at Total Wine in Laurel this Friday for a special meet and greet showcasing her new wine collaboration. The star has teamed up with 7 Daughters as the company's strategic advisor and creative collaborator. The company said in a statement, the collab is a tribute to the powerful women whose love and support have propelled Taraji's career and life forward. And still to come on CTV News, we sit down with PGCPS Interim Superintendent Dr. Shawn Joseph.
That's right. He's talking to us about his plans for the school district's upcoming year. Back in a bit. Stay tuned.
Most hiring algorithms would scream me out.
Some bosses couldn't see me as a leader.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
I've been running code as long as I've been able to reach a keyboard.
This is what I do. It's second nature for me, coordinating 100 details at once.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
I sold them on my skills.
You gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
My magic is
analytics and empathy. That's how I'm getting clients. You have to have the confidence in yourself to show up and defy the odds.
I'm more than who I am on paper.
I never got a college degree, and today I'm the CEO of my own company. People want to tell me I'm one in a million, when actually I'm one of millions. Stars are all around us. It's time for them to shine.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Part-time job, full-time hustle, all-time hero to all of us. You nurture, we listen. You teach, we thrive. You lift our spirits, but we've got to lay down the truth. It's time for you, our Shiro, to stretch for the stars. A free online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Start saving more for retirement so you can feel prepared and live your life to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back. Last month, it was announced that Prince George's County School Board Superintendent Millard House II was parting ways with the school system, and County Executive Aisha Braveboy announced soon after that Dr. Shawn Joseph would be stepping in as interim superintendent.
So joining us today to discuss his 100-day plan for the school board is interim superintendent Dr. Shawn Joseph. Doctor, thank you, sir, for being with us.
Thank you.
Here is a copy of that 100-day plan. A lot in here. Talk about it. Talk what your priorities are.
Yeah, I think you know, we're starting off engaging families. That's most important. It's you know, getting families actively involved is the secret ingredient to student success. And in Prince George's County, you know, we've got to make sure we make it easy for parents to engage with us and be true partners in helping their children be successful. So we're starting there. We have 6 different priorities that range from working with the board to focusing on academics to looking at operations to focusing on talent. But the goal is to be clear, specific, and move us forward.
If I can follow up, how do you get parents involved? Because that's a big concern about parents who may not care. How do you reach them and get them involved in the system?
Yeah, I mean, I think all parents care, and I think all parents have hopes for their children. But sometimes, you know, they've had bad experiences in our school systems themselves, and they might not know how to engage. So I think step one, make it easy for parents to know how to find you, how to engage, and what types of ways they can make a difference. I think we can lead the effort in doing that. 2, I think we can look at our policies and make sure that our policies communicate to parents their right to be at their table, the right to be engaged, and the expectation that we'll always be respectful and always put their children first.
And do you think that the 100-day plan actually addresses some of the challenges that our students face? And if so, how?
Yeah, so I think the 100-day plan is going to have us look at our student performance, for example, and try to understand where are we? Are kids growing adequately in our school system? If not, why not? If so, where is it happening, and how do we replicate that success? So I think that gets to the core. The plan wasn't intended to address every issue in the district. It was just to help us focus, get us started, and then we'll move from my 100-day plan to a strategic planning process, and that'll be more encompassing of some of the more global challenges that we face. I mean, things like safety and security. It has to be a priority for us in the district.
So the end of the 100 days is really a springboard to the future.
Correct, yes.
How will the school district, how will it look different at the end of the 100 days?
I think at the end of the 100 days, I'll be clear about where we are. And I'll be clear about what are some of the challenges and issues long-term that need to be faced. I think the board and I will be able to come together and communicate what we plan on tackling first, second, and third. That's important. No organization can succeed if you've got greater vision than capacity. And I think this 100-day plan level sets for me to understand our capacity so we can make our vision aligned.
And let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the graduation rate. Right now it jumped to 80.2% in 2024, rising by about 5 percentage points. Do you see us continuing to increase those numbers?
Well, I think, well, first, I'll say I'm not one that spends a lot of time focusing on graduation rates because I want to make sure that the quality of our graduate is such. But having said that, I would suspect that our graduation rates are going to go down in the immediate future, simply because I think they went up primarily because we closed our borders. We have a large population of students that come here from other countries. And so when the borders closed, we had fewer of our students, immigrant students in the district, which ultimately would have the graduation rate kind of go up. But now that the borders are open again, and Prince George's is a place with over 140 different countries here, and that's as we have a pretty large truancy rate. About 30% of our students have been truant, meaning they've been out of school at least 18 days or more, and we don't know why. I mean, that's a challenge for us. So, I wouldn't pay attention to graduation rate. What I want to pay attention to are our kids achieving in reading and mathematics and science, and do we see improvements there? That's where I want to lock in on that substance.
So in other words, you do want to increase the graduation rate. It's at 80.2%. But what do those numbers tell us, though? Are the students, are they ready? They graduated, are they ready?
Oh, that's my point. So yes, I mean, in the ideal world, I want to increase the graduation rate. I'm more concerned about the quality of the student, that when students graduate, that they actually know something, and that they could either, enlist in the military, they can go off to college, they can go into the workforce, or they can become entrepreneurs. I mean, I think one of those 4 E's has to be a priority for us.
And back to what you were just speaking about, there has been a significant increase in Hispanic students in the county, but do you think that there's more of a need for English language learner teachers?
There is, yes, and I do think we've got to make sure we have support for a multilingual learner. We have some of the best immersion programs in the country. I mean, I think our French immersion program, our Spanish immersion, our Chinese immersion, I mean, they're exemplary. I don't think we have enough of them, and I think we should have more as we have a population of, English language learners and multilingual learners here. But it requires us to provide more support for them and their families to be successful. So as because they have natural great intelligence, they don't speak our language. And so, it takes time for them to adjust, adapt, and then master academic language. So they, the scores kind of come slower for those students, just as they're learning academic language, but very capable and bright. But if we taught them in their native language, then we'd see right up front the capacity of what they can do. So, those are the types of things we will need to look at long term, and if the board agreed, resource towards.
Okay, so the issue, though, one last question real quick about homeless students. Does that pose a problem for the district, getting to reach these students?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know the specific numbers of homeless students that we have here, but I know when I was here 9 years ago, we had a few thousand homeless students. And so they are entitled to the same quality public education as any child, and we must provide resource for them.
Yeah. Okay, Doctor, thanks for coming in and talking to us.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
And don't move, Simon Buggs is here with our Monday sports page.
That's right, and I hear he's talking about basketball.
Stay right there, everyone, because I have some exciting basketball and soccer news coming your way. Stay tuned.
I am an athlete.
I am an educator.
I'm an EMT, a neurologist, a veteran, a business owner.
I'm a mom.
We are survivors.
Cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of women and doesn't discriminate.
It can affect any woman at any age or stage.
Yet many women don't know it's our greatest health threat.
Encourage 3 women you love to learn more about their risk factors and how they can take charge of their health today.
Okay, sports fans, you know what time it is. Go ahead and grab a seat. Now, the Terps alumni team, Shell Shock, took the court this past weekend for the opening rounds of the basketball tournament. And the team is now one step closer to claiming the $1 million prize as they took down TB teams Love Virginia and Red Rose Thunder to advance to the Sweet 16 round of the tournament for the first time in team history. I was able to catch up with center Diamond Stone, who scored 15 points and 7 boards in the team opener, about what he brings to this Shell Shock squad.
Just aggression, you know what I'm saying? I feel like just my physicality. I feel like, I want contact. I want to feel that bump. So I feel like just that, my vocal leader, you know what I'm saying? Somebody just, who's been playing a long time, share my, experience. I just feel like, just a competitor. I feel like everybody here wants to compete. Everybody here wants to win the money. So I feel like just adding somebody else adding that too, perfect.
Stone and the rest of the team will return to action next versus NXT Era Elite tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Switching gears to professional soccer, it's official, Washington Spirit fans. Adrian Gonzalez is now the permanent head coach of the team. Gonzalez was first tapped to be the team's interim head coach last season and led Washington to an impressive 10 wins in 15 matches. And this season under Gonzalez, the Spirit are 7-2-4 and are in 4th place in the standings. Gonzalez's introductory press conference was held recently where he spoke on his goals for the team.
We are here to win. We know where we are. The vision that we have as an organization is huge. We all are very ambitious and we want to be present every day, working every single detail to have more chances to win games. And we are going to keep building to have a lot of chances to compete and be ready to be in the best spot as possible for the playoffs and obviously try to be ready to win the championship.
The Washington Spirit will begin the second half of the season against the Portland Thorns on August 3rd. Meanwhile, the Baltimore Orioles moved to 44-54 after taking down the Tampa Bay Rays yesterday 5-3. Their next opponent will be the Cleveland Guardians tonight at 6:40. And finally, the Washington Nationals will take the diamond tonight against the Cincinnati Reds. First pitch is at 6:45. And that wraps up your Monday sports page. Simon Bugs, CTV Sports.
Thank you, Simon. Let's get a quick look now at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight will be mostly clear with no rain in the forecast. Tomorrow, sunny with a high of 85. Wednesday, mostly sunny with a high of 86 and a low of 68. And on Thursday, another nice and sunny day with a high temperature that day of 90 degrees.
And for our community calendar this Saturday, the American Legion Laurel Squadron is hosting their annual crab feast. The night includes a crab feast, games, tunes provided by a DJ, and more. Doors open at 3 p.m. and this event is adults only, 21 and up. But for tickets, contact Joe Lohman at squadron60@verizon.net. And that's all the time we have on CTV News. Thanks so much for joining us.
See you tomorrow night. Good night.
Pick up. Joe, pick up the phone.
Open up, man.
Connection saves lives. Reach out and check in on a loved one